Hello, it's Kazina here, Karen, and it's such a lovely sunny day today. I thought I'd do this video response to MaxiumumRD's open tag in the garden. So hello from my garden. Anyway, he put out a tag yesterday asking for good points about any handheld or console that is quite despised, and I had a little think about it last night and this morning, and this is probably a very popular choice, but I'm going to talk about the Philips CDI, as I do own a Philips CDI and I'm quite fond of it. So I had a little think about it. I mean, the Philips CDI, I think it was quite a maligned console. It did have a lot of factors against it when it came out. I mean, its launch price was ridiculous. I think it was something like £600 in the UK. There were problems, I believe, with the sound buffering or something to do with the sounds inside the CDI that meant that at least half of the CDIs were scrapped before the launch date. It didn't have immediate good game support until about a year later. It had a bad save system. It didn't have a great controller. Poor old CDI, it didn't really have much going for it. However, as years go by and you have collectors like myself who pick up a console like this, I have to say that despite all its bad points, it did have a lot of good points, and namely the games really, and also the fact that you can play BCD, you can play, which are video discs as well, which is a good point. It can play backup discs, which is another good point. But the good thing I think about the CDI, and I've brought a few out in the garden with me that I have, were the games. The games play, you know, a lot of the games did play really well, and I liked that full motion video capture thing. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it brought something extra to gaming, and I wish sometimes they'd include it a little bit more in games now, but I enjoyed that. So I'm just going to show you a few games I have that I've enjoyed on the CDI. One of them is called Secret Mission, and it's based in Indochina, I think in the 1950s, and it's a bit of a spy story. And yes, it's slightly cumbersome play-wise, but it looks really good, and it plays a very good story. Chaos Control, I absolutely adore this game. It's a light gun game which you can still play on your LCD televisions if you've got the Philips light gun, and I think this is a brilliant game. I've heard some people say that the sound effects are a bit iffy and the smoke when you shoot things are not great, but I don't care. Chaos Control is worth getting a Philips CDI for. And do you know what I really loved on the CDI is Cluedo. It plays very, very well. The cutscenes are really great. It's very enjoyable. I mean, I played the board game when I was a kid, but I must admit I've not played it as I've got older, but I have enjoyed playing Cluedo on the CDI. And hey, it's got Joan Sims in it from the Carry On films, so it's definitely worth watching. And another thing that I liked about the CDI is, and I've got a couple of, they had educational discs on there. One of these is an encyclopedia, and one of these is like a kiddie tell me why disc. And I think that was a really good thing that Philips included in their software. The fact that they did have educational and software that told you about other things. I've got a couple inside about Renaissance painters. There's one about bird watching, whatnot, but they're done quite well and they're quite interesting. So all in all, if I was to sum up what I think about the Philips CDI, I'd say that personally now I think it's quite a good machine, and I think that a lot of the problems it had when it was launched was its timing and its pricing and lack of good support games, and thankfully that's all changed now. And I think as we get older, and I think if you are a bit of a game and console connoisseur, you can appreciate something for what it is, and I'd like to recommend the Philips CDI. And thanks very much, Rob, for this open tag. Bye.